Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. In this video, I'm going to talk about epithelial tissue. If you look at your surrounding, you can see varieties of organisms. In all those multicellular organisms, the basic functions like circulation, digestion, excretion, etc. are performed by group of cells. Such group of similar cells which perform specific function are called as tissue. There are mainly four basic types of tissue to perform all those functions. They are epithelial tissue, connective tissue, muscular tissue and neural tissue. Out of these four tissues, in this video I'm going to talk about first one, that is epithelial tissue. Epithelial tissue is also called as epithelium and the plural form is epithelia. Epithelial tissue is a tissue which is made up of one or more layer of cell that covers the body surface, that is external body surface or the surface of the internal body parts or the organs. The epithelial tissue has a free surface that faces the external environment when it covers the external body surface, or it faces the body fluid when it covers the surface of the internal body organs. Anyhow, in both the cases, it acts as a protective covering for the body parts or entire body of the organism. If we talk about the main features of the epithelial tissue made up of many cells that are compactly arranged with a very little intercellular matrix. The layer of the epithelial tissue rests on thin layer of basement membrane. As you can see in this diagram, these are the basement membrane on which the epithelial layer or epithelial tissue rests on. The epithelial tissue are avascular in nature. Avascular means they are not supplied with the blood vessel, but they are innervated. Innervated means they are well supplied with the nerves. The main feature of the epithelial tissue is they have great power of regeneration or repair. As I already told, most part of the epithelial tissue forms a boundary between different body parts or the organs. They are more likely to get injured or face friction. So it is very important to have quick regeneration power for the epithelial tissue. So these are the main features of epithelial tissue. Epithelial tissue is mainly divided into two types based on the shape of the cell and based on the arrangement of the cell. And the two types are simple epithelium and compound epithelium. Simple epithelium, as the name indicates, it is very simple, made up of single layer of cell, whereas compound epithelium made up of two or more layer of cell. Simple epithelium further divided into mainly 5 types based on the structural modification. They are simple squamous epithelium, simple cuboidal epithelium, simple columnar epithelium, simple ciliated epithelium and pseudostratified epithelium. We'll discuss all these 5 types one by one. First type is simple squamous epithelium. As you can see in this diagram, it is made up of a thin layer of large flat cell. The edges of these cells fit tightly together like a tiles on the floor. If you observe this epithelium from the surface, it is made up of roughly polygonal shaped cells with the irregular border, and it has flat central nuclei. This squamous epithelium is commonly found in the walls of the blood vessels, air sacs of the lungs, etc. And it performs functions like protection, gas exchange, excretion, etc. Second type is simple cuboidal epithelium. As the name indicates, it is made up of single layer of cube-like cell. In most of the cases, the free surface of this cuboidal cells forms microvilli, which gives a brush-like appearance, and it increases the surface area for absorption. They have large central nucleus at the center of each cell. This simple cuboidal epithelium is commonly found in the ducts of the gland, tubular part of nephron of kidney, etc. And it performs a function like secretion, excretion, absorption, gamete formation, etc. Third type is simple columnar epithelium. As the name indicates, it is made up of tall, slender or column-like cell. The free surface of these cells are slightly broader, and it has elongated single nuclei at the base of each cell. This simple columnar epithelium is commonly found in the walls of stomach and intestine, and it performs functions like protection, secretion, absorption, etc. Next type is simple ciliated epithelium. In this case, the cells have very delicate numerous hair-like structure called as cilia, and these cilia shows rhythmic movement which creates a current that helps in the transport of substances or the material that come in contact with the cilia. This ciliated epithelium again divided into two types, that is ciliated columnar epithelium, ciliated cuboidal epithelium. It is very simple. If the columnar cells have cilia, then it is called as a ciliated columnar epithelium. If cuboidal cells have cilia, then it is called as a ciliated cuboidal epithelium. Next type is pseudostriated epithelium. In this type, the epithelium made up of columnar cells but of different size. Few cells are very long, whereas few cells are short. The longer cells reaches the free surface of the epithelium, whereas short cells do not reach the free surface of epithelium. Because of this irregular size, the nuclei are arranged at different level. So because of these two reasons, that is unequal size of the cell and arrangement of nuclei at different level, they look multi-layered. But actually they are arranged in a single layer. But because of these two reasons, they look like multi-layer. That is why it is called as pseudo-striated. Pseudo means false, strata means layer. This pseudostriated epithelium again divided into two types, that is pseudostriated columnar epithelium, pseudostriated columnar ciliated epithelium. It is very simple. In the first case, the epithelium made up of simple columnar cells, whereas the second case, the epithelium made up of columnar ciliated cell or ciliated columnar cell. So these are the 5 types of simple epithelium. Some of the cuboidal or columnar cells are specialized for secretion and they are called as glandular epithelium. Glandular epithelium is of two types, that is unicellular and multicellular. As the name indicates, unicellular consisting of single secreting cells, for example goblets of the alimentary canal, whereas multicellular consisting of a cluster of secreting cells. Example for that is salivary gland. On the basis of mode of pouring their secretion, the glands are divided into mainly 3 types. They are exocrine, endocrine and heterocrine gland. We'll discuss these 3 one by one. First one is exocrine gland. Exocrine glands are the one which pours their secretion on the epithelial surface through the duct or the tubes. Example for that is sweat gland, mammary gland, oil gland, tear gland, gastric gland, intestinal gland, etc. Second type is endocrine gland. They are ductless glands. They pour their secretion, mainly hormones, directly into the bloodstream or the lymph. And the blood or the lymph later carry this hormone to the target site. Example for this endocrine gland is hypothalamus, thymus, adrenal gland, pituitary gland, etc. Third type is heterocrine gland. As the name indicates, this heterocrine gland consisting of both exocrine as well as endocrine part. Exocrine part pour their secretion through the duct, whereas endocrine part pour their secretion directly into the blood or lymph. Example for the heterocrine gland is pancreas and the gonads. Gonads like testes and ovary. So that is all about different types of simple epithelium. Now let me talk about compound epithelium. As I already told, compound epithelium made up of 2 or more layer of cells. Compound epithelium again divided into 2 types, that is stratified epithelium and transitional epithelium. Stratified epithelium made up of 2 or more layer of epithelial cells in which the deepest part is made up of columnar or cuboidal cells. This stratified epithelium again divided into 4 types based on the shape of the cell that is present on the superficial layer. The 4 types are stratified squamous epithelium, stratified cuboidal epithelium, stratified columnar epithelium, stratified ciliated columnar epithelium. Let me discuss these 4 types one by one. First one is stratified squamous epithelium. In this type, it is made up of 2 or more layer of cells with the deepest layer consisting of columnar cells. These columnar cells undergo continuous mitotic division to form a new cells. These formed new cells, as they move towards the surface, they become flattened. As you can see, these are the flattened cell. That is why it is called as stratified squamous epithelium. It is again divided into 2 types: keratinized stratified squamous epithelium, non-keratinized stratified squamous epithelium. In the first type, that is keratinized stratified squamous epithelium, the cells which are present on the upper layer, their cytoplasm is replaced by a hard waterproof protein called as keratin. Whereas in the case of second type, that is non-keratinized stratified squamous epithelium, the cells which are present on the upper layer or the superficial layer, the cytoplasm is not replaced by keratin, or keratin is absent in those cells. That is why it is called as non-keratinized stratified squamous epithelium. Second type is stratified cuboidal epithelium. As the name indicates, in this type, the basal surface consisting of columnar cells, whereas the cells which are present on the upper layer is made up of cuboidal cells. So that is about the second type. Third type is stratified columnar epithelium. As the name indicates, in this type, both upper layer as well as the deepest layer made up of simple columnar cells. The fourth type is stratified ciliated columnar epithelium. As the name indicates, in this type, the superficial layer made up of ciliated columnar cells or ciliated columnar epithelium, whereas the basal layer made up of simple columnar cells. So that is about the four types of stratified epithelium. Second type of compound epithelium is transitional epithelium. Transitional epithelium made up of 4 to 6 layers of cells of different shape. The deepest layer made up of cuboidal or columnar cells. The cells which are present in the middle layer made up of polyhedral shaped cells. The cells which are present on the upper layer or the superficial layer are globular cells. These transitional epithelium are commonly found in the most part of the urinary system, like urinary bladder, ureter, urethra, etc. And the function of this transitional epithelium is it allows a maximum distension or stretching of the part without any damage. So that is all about the different types of epithelial tissue, their position and their function. I hope this video will be useful. If you like this video, please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. Thank you.